Hello, I'm Zash, and welcome to episode 66 of my Senjou no Maou, or The Devil on G-String, Let's Read. Joining me, as always, is my co-reader Faith. Well, a lot happened last episode. We got Kyohei's revelation, we learned more about the relationship of little Kyousuke and Usami when they were kids. Kyousuke rescued Usami from the clutches of Maou. And, well, Kyousuke and Usami have sort of shacked up now. And they had an intimate moment, shall we say, last night. And now it is the day after. Please enjoy. After we're done, we lay down in each other's arms for a while. Usami eventually gets up and cheerfully dresses.
I'm surprised you remembered.
She smiles. Remembered what?
The thing from 10 years ago. The promise we made to conquer the universe together.
I'm pretty sure I never promised anything like that. I went to the Seno Corporation's headquarters yesterday. I met a guy named Iwai on the rooftop there.
Oh, Yuya-san.
You seem to be acquainted with him. Iwai Yuya. He's a young, green employee at Seno. His family has been taking care of you. Is that right? His father was one of Usami Yoshinori's subordinates.
Yeah. When I moved back here, they introduced me to a place to live. I borrowed a little money from them too, but I've since paid it all back.
Apparently, Iwai's father respected yours quite highly.
Supposedly, my dad was very trusted around the office.
She looked down awkwardly. Anyway, this Iwai guy suddenly called out to me. He asked me if I had been the kid who, years ago, had met a girl named Usami right here on the rooftop. Iwai had come to Seno's headquarters to see his father too these days. Apparently he saw us a few times.
That's what I hear. He says I ignored him when he talked to me at the time.
He seemed like a really sincere guy.
Yeah. Yuya-san is a nice guy. He sympathizes with me.
Somehow, her use of his given name got on my nerves. Anyway, while I was talking to him, I remembered the whole thing.
Azai-san, is it true that you have psychogenic amnesia?
Psychogenic what?
A condition which makes you lose your memories.
It's true that I'm forgetful, but...
See, that sounds like a funny joke, but in truth you do remember when you lose your memory.
All I could do was laugh.
You're always talking about having bad headaches.
Did Akimoto diagnose me with that? I don't know. Doctors like to throw around serious diagnoses for the most trivial things.
Well, you should see a doctor about it.
I'll give it a thought when I have the time. I'll be busy with Gonzou's funeral and such for a good while.
So he really was killed?
It still doesn't feel real to me. I feel like I'll get a call from him at any second telling me to come report on the family business.
One thing still bugs me, though.
What?
Well, it was Gonzo's son who told me you had that condition.
You met with him?
I went to his estate last night. I had intended to ask him to forgive Yuki.
What the hell? You know good and well Gonzou doesn't take requests.
Doesn't matter. Gonzo-san had already lost interest in Yuki. While I was there, though, there was a call for him.
Wait a second. Was that?
That call was from you, yes?
I think back on last night's events. After I left Seno's headquarters, my phone suddenly rang. I was dumbfounded. The call was from my brother, who was supposed to be dead. Maou said he had something to talk to me about, and that I should come to the harbor. It shook me up so much that I forgot my current status with Gonzou, and reported it directly. I told him that I wasn't Maou, but now that I think about it, that was Mao's trap. He used me as bait to bring Gonzou to the wharf. Maou intended to kill both of us.
What happened on the docks last night?
Gonzou brought his best men and waited for Maou. He seemed to realize it was a trap.
But in the end, he was still shot.
Yeah, when I showed up in a cab, he suddenly jumped out of his car.
Ellipses.
Huh? Usami's face suddenly grew stern.
I heard he was taken down by a long-range rifle.
Yeah?
Was Gonzo-san hiding in the car until you got there?
Probably. Gonzo's car's windows are tinted pretty heavily, so it wouldn't be possible to aim for someone inside.
Then, why did he jump out?
I've no idea.
You're sure you don't know?
She put on reproachful airs, but seemed to hide a bunch of sadness in her eyes. It was a strange expression overall.
I see.
What?
Nothing. He must have tried to flush out Maou by acting as bait. You don't believe that, do you?
Right, it's a possibility. His subordinates were fearfully quick to move after he went down. I'm not sure whether to call it brave or reckless. It's no wonder he was the boss.
Ellipses.
She stares firmly at me. What? Cut it out. My fingertips were trembling, ever so slightly.
Alright, what's going on? I have an inkling.
No way. It couldn't be. It's true that I showed up unprepared, and I didn't even know Maou was aiming at us with a rifle, but...
Kyousuke, if you show up unprepared, you're going to die.
Those words tore through my eardrums and violently shook my entire body. No way. There's no way. Gonzo's last moments are still fresh in my memory.
Did you take Kyousuke's bullet?
I think so. Father! The beast fell to the ground.
Alright, now I'm starting to not want to see a corpse. I mean, he's still an asshole, but damn.
He stared at me with anger in his eyes.
Stay back.
When I tried to get closer, my knees shook. I'll call the ambulance.
Shut up.
The wounded beast's raw intimidation froze my body in place.
Kyousuke, it was close.
He foams from the mouth as blood spurts out.
If I died just a little earlier, you would have been able to go back to your mother's side.
You? Die? Don't be so rash. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't even imagine this mountain of a man would die before me.
I told my henchmen to chase Maou.
I thought it was strange that no one came to help the boss as he lay dying. It was an impossibility to a Yakuza squad. Honor and duty flow through their veins. Is this the power of the organization you've created?
I told them, if they catch Maou, they'll get a reward.
He seemed somehow happy about it all. Nothing in this world could withstand the assault of the temptation poised by money and power. Azai Gonzo was likely satisfied on his deathbed, knowing that his life's philosophy was indeed a law of the cosmos.
I offered 50 million. Now go.
But...
You've got a debt of 200 million, boy. You haven't forgotten it, have you?
Why is he talking about the debt now, of all times? Nevertheless, Azai Gonzo's eyes told me he'd crawl out from the depths of hell to take back that money.
Get out of here, Kyousuke.
No. There's no fucking way. I clench my fists and deny the possibility. Usami, you can spot these cute little fairy tales because you didn't know Gonzo.
Ellipses.
You better listen here. Gonzo was the type of asshole who could knock a man out the first time he met him, then guzzled down liquor as he watched him bleed.
Ellipses.
And then tell me to violate canon to tame her, all in one sitting.
Ellipses.
And when Tsubaki's kid brother was kidnapped, he beat me silly.
Ellipses.
And he never saw canon as anything but a source of income.
Ellipses.
Right. And he was a demon to my mother, too.
Ellipses.
He was Azai fucking Gonzo. A fearless, cold-blooded son of a bitch. That night, I had stepped out of the taxi, unprepared. Immediately thereafter, Azai Gonzo fiercely roared at me. Surprised, I ducked down.
Kyousuke!
There's no way he'd forgive you for that outrage. Not a chance in hell. The manner in which he lived his life, no, the manner in which he died would never forgive it. Your delusions are blasphemy towards Azai Gonzo. If I don't deny her insinuations, I feel I'll go insane. In the several years I followed Gonzo, not once did he show an ounce of kindness. Every day, every goddamn day, was about money. Livestock who couldn't provide were merely beaten. Last night, I dashed away from my father as he submitted to his death throes. I left behind the man who beat me into this dark philosophy. Understood. 50 million, right? 50 million, right? Those were my last words to him. To the very end, it was about money. Megallipses. Ellipses.
Son. Azai-san.
She's calling me.
Please don't cry.
I was kneeling on the floor with my hands clasped together. Please. Gonzo's image floated before my clasped hands, laughing at me from the furthest reaches of hell. Give me back my innocent child's eyes.
Ellipses.
Let me believe my horrible father protected his son at the very end.
Ellipses.
Please. Which is the truth, Gonzo? Did you jump out of the car just to settle your fight with Maou? Or could it be? A bestial roar echoed through my mind. No, not a roar. It was merely the wailing of a starving cub. I wailed and wailed, but my father never came back from the hunt. No matter how long I waited, he never came back. Megallipses. Ellipses. I seem to have fallen asleep. There's a soft sensation on my head.
Good to see you're up. It's morning already.
Apparently I slept in Usami's bosom. I'm strangely thirsty. It's already 8 in the morning. Fuck!
What is it? Can you go to school?
I have to make arrangements for Gonzo's funeral. The big bosses of the Sowa Alliance will be there, so I can't afford to miss it. What's going to happen to the Sonoyama group? Will Horibe or someone else take Gonzou's place as the 5th boss? Or will someone from another group take over Sonoyama's place in Sowa?
Alright. So you'll be heading out right away?
Yeah, I'll be back for a bit tonight. Until then, make yourself at home.
What a pity. I wanted to treat you to my cooking.
Sounds gruesome. Later.
Wait, I'll come see you off.
I run out the door, and Usami follows me. Oh, Tokita and Shiratori. After going down the elevator and dashing through the lobby, I bump into them.
Good morning, Kyousuke-kun. How was Haru?
She had that gorgeous grin plastered on as usual, and today it seemed determined to beat out even the winter sky. How?
You ate her, right? Nah, son, this isn't the time. Yeah, have some manners. Not the kind of stuff you should be saying out in public in front of someone else's place, jeez. So it's true then.
Tokita seemed almost sad as she twiddled her bangs.
I heard your foster father died.
Yeah, and thanks to that, you can walk about freely again. I'm going to be really busy for a while. Battles over succession and whatnot. So I've no business with you.
We heard about your mother, too.
Yep, she's dead too. You heard this from Usami, I take it. Spare me the pity. I don't need your comfort.
Yeah, that's Haru's role.
She really does seem down. Will you be in prison starting tomorrow, Tokita?
As compassionate as ever, I see.
Do as you wish. It's none of my concern.
Yes, I will.
Still, I feel like I ought to tell you that your little stint in the slammer isn't going to do anyone any favors. I'm sure you know that already, though.
Oopsies.
What? Say something. Think about it, Tokita. Even the biggest victim in this, your arch-nemesis, Director Shiratori, doesn't want this to go public. If you hand yourself in, the hostage case comes to light. Shiratori and Usami seem to be fond of you as well. No one involved in this case wants to report you, and the police have better things to do. Even if you do turn yourself in, you might not be prosecuted.
Miss Noriko and Hashimoto-kun would want to report me.
Maybe. Miss Noriko was dragged into it, and Hashimoto was your accomplice. I've no idea about them. Usami spoke up.
Yuki, have you no intention of changing your mind? Come on, think this over. We'll go apologize to Miss Noriko together. I'm sure she'll forgive you.
Tokita shook her head with a sour expression.
I've understood each and every one of your points from the very beginning.
Oh? For some reason, I was annoyed. Usami will lose her only lifelong friend, and Shiratori will be all alone again.
Oopsies.
Your dad was finally promoted, but he'll be back to the boondocks before you can say lickety-split.
Oopsies.
The only thing you'll gain by handing yourself in is the self-satisfaction. You've got a big sense of justice there, huh? The usually talkative Tokita kept quiet and listened to me. You committed a crime. The textbooks would say you should hand yourself over, but before you atoned for your crimes in prison, you'd best pay off your debts.
Debts?
Tokita seems to have been taken by surprise after all. Thanks to you, members of the Sonoyama group left their scheduled work and kept busy a whole night. With labor costs, the warehouse's electricity bill for the night, and consolation money, it'll be more than just 1 or 2 million.
I see.
Tokita's face twitches. Anyway, turn yourself in after you've paid it off in full. If you run off to jail before that, I'll take what I need from your family. I glare at Shiratori, making sure Tokita notices.
You're joking, right?
If you really want to find out, try running to the cops. My mother just died, you see. I'm a little on edge.
Oopsies.
She moans and inspects my body. She must be doing her psychological crap again, trying to figure me out. Anyway, there are questions I have about Maou that I think you could answer. Don't go running away. I had no time for idle chatter. I leave the three girls behind and head for Gonzou's estate. Black suits were lined up outside the house. Shoving my way through the numerous greetings and sharpened stares, I finally made my way to the entrance. First things first, I ask about the funeral plans. The wake is tomorrow, and the memorial service is the day after. Gonzou's body was taken to the ceremonial hall the Sowa Alliance uses when its leaders die. I took care to make any necessary calls, return anything Gonzou might have borrowed, arranged for food at the ceremonies, ordered flowers, etc. Basically, I was the lackey. When I finally built up the courage to talk with the top dogs of Sowa, the anxiety nearly made me vomit. Not a single person openly lamented Gonzou's death. They all seemed more relieved than anything else. It just goes to show how many people kept their distance from, and feared, Azai Gonzou. The word Maou was thrown around a bit as well. Word seemed to have spread that Maou was my brother, Samajima Kyohei. After the funeral is done and forgotten, they'll be questioning me about it. Maou. I lost myself in work, silently moving my body. Megallipses. Ellipses.
Welcome back.
I return to my room, and Usami seems to have made herself at home.
Will you have dinner or a bath?
We're not newlyweds.
I've always wanted to say that.
Wait, what's that burning smell?
Right. I tried to make Iberian pig saute and failed.
Yeah, well, at least you didn't set the building on fire. I lost the will to tease her.
You weren't gone very long.
Yeah, but I have to head back at about 9.
So you came to see me, even if we can only be together for a short while?
No. Why do I like this woman again? Did Tokita say anything?
No.
I'll talk with her tomorrow.
Anyway, I'm cooking fish, so sit back and relax.
Sure. In all reality, though, there's too much to be done to kick back. Now that Gonzou is dead, the Azai Corporation is through. Maybe I'll listen to some music. I haven't done that in a while. I skimmed through my CD rack. I want something demonic. Demonic, in the context of classical music, usually means fast pieces, which require unparalleled, virtuoso skill. Maybe Mozart? Some people do say he was possessed by the devil when he wrote his music. Hey, Usami. I pull out a CD and almost reflexively call Usami over.
What's up? Did you call for me?
Check this out. It was one of my favorite performers' debut album. A prodigal child violinist. She was about 13 at the time. Mishima. Haruna.
That's something I'd rather not remember.
Oh? I stare at Usami. They seem similar somehow.
I shouldn't have had to stand on that ice at the age of 13.
For real?
For real.
Mishima? That? Mishima?
Yes.
This girl is the daughter of Mishima Kaoru?
Yeah, that's my mother.
What?
Yeah. I really didn't have any business making that CD. Granted, it's out of print in Japan these days.
Wait, seriously?
Sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.
No, this Mishima Haruna is. She's one of my favorite artists.
You sure are a pedophile, as I saw.
What the hell is Haruna? A stage name?
Something like that. Mom told me to refrain from using my real name.
Why?
Because, you know, I'm the daughter of a murder victim. Not to mention that when the CD was announced, I was still a child.
Well, I wouldn't say child.
No, I was 12 when I recorded it. That's plenty young enough to land you in jail, if you know what I mean.
Well, whatever. I was just wondering, because it's kind of weird to use a stage name in classical music. I can't believe I never realized Usami Haru was Mishima Haruna. Well,
Yes?
when may we expect your next album to hit the shelves?
You just got real gross on me all of a sudden.
It really hurts to be called gross by Usami.
There won't be a next album. My contract with the record company was cut long ago anyway.
I see. So when you said you were taking a break, you were really retiring?
Showbiz is no place for a kid, but my mother's reputation sort of forced me into releasing a debut CD.
Well, your mother was amazing. She took first place in a Tchaikovsky competition and played with orchestras in Berlin, Birmingham, Philadelphia, and everywhere in between.
Yeah, she was the amazing one. Not me.
It's not surprising they wanted you to record an album. And, well, to be frank, they said you were good looking too.
Could you say that once more?
Huh?
To be frank. What?
To be frank, I didn't think you'd turn out to be such a disgusting girl.
I see.
Her head drooped. But Mishima Haruna-san, I meant you. You won that school competition in Germany, right?
You're well informed. What a fearful opponent.
She sighs heavily. You must have been pretty good, right? You even have a hardcore fan right before your eyes.
You're just a huge classical music nerd. No one knows me these days.
Anyway, forget lunch for now. Play the violin for me.
I'd rather not.
Hey, I'm begging for it here.
Could you please cut me some slack?
Do you know how rarely I get to hear a live performance?
Didn't you see one on your date with Mizuho?
I want to hear a solo.
I'm sorry. I just...
She seems really against it. Is it out of pride and she fears she'll disappoint me? Is that why you came to our school?
Yes. When I applied there, I mentioned I had some experience working with the arts.
Which slackened the attendance requirement?
Indeed. Though I took out a student loan as well. What?
Nothing. I was just thinking. I finally began to understand you. She's begun to seem more human than before. Anyway, I'm going to hit the shower.
Sure. What about my clothes?
Crap! I forgot about them. They're still at the cleaners.
I'll go and get them then. I want to look around town anyway.
Look around?
Yeah. I'm concerned about what Maou might be planning next.
So am I. I'm plenty aware that this is merely the eye of the storm. So many things have happened in one short week. My mother's death, Gonzo's death, my brother's revelation, my reunion with the young hero named Usami Haru. All I want is a little time, just a little, to adjust my feelings.
Azai-san.
Sorry, but can dinner wait until I get back? Being surrounded by that villainous bunch always makes me lose my appetite.
No, it's about the bath.
You want to go first?
No, that's not what I mean.
What are you all antsy about?
Are you going to make me say it?
I've no idea what you're talking about. Do you want to wash my back or something?
Bingo!
She snapped her fingers.
You're so diligent, Haru.
Maybe you ought to leave the compliments to other people, Ellipses. Megallipses. The bathroom. Fix your hair already. It's an eyesore when it's all wet.
Sorry.
She scrubs me with a sponge. Oh, right there. Right there. Oh, yeah. It's much better having someone else wash your back.
Anytime.
Usami was acting flustered behind me. I'd occasionally feel an excessively heated breath on my shoulder. Should I wash you, too?
What? But I'm naked.
I know. Your boobs have been pressing against my back the whole time.
I'm so sorry.
Well, Usami and Kyousuke are at it again in the bathtub. And, honestly, who's surprised after they went in together? If you didn't see it coming, pun not intended, sorta, well, then what have you been watching? Megallipses. Ellipses.
Usami Haru wandered alone through the bright city lights. It was quite chilly tonight. As she walked around aimlessly, she reprimanded herself for forgetting to borrow a coat from Kyousuke. Something was amiss. There were a scarce few young people hanging around the shopping district. No young men loitered outside the convenience stores. No girls gathered to chat near the clubs. The street corners typically used as meeting spots were completely stripped of waiting use. The only people wandering the streets were middle-aged con artists. They looked bored without any prey to ensnare. Haru decided to inquire about the strange state of things. She came upon a man leaning against the telephone pole, pressing buttons on his cell phone. Is there something happening in the city right now? He looked Haru up and down for a moment before losing interest and shaking his head. Did he not like her jogging suit?
Whatever it is, it must be big,
he said. In the end, the man she approached didn't seem to know any more than she did. He confirmed Haru's feelings, though. There was something eerie, downright creepy about the whole situation. Central Boulevard hasn't been very peaceful over the past few months, thanks to the Yakuza power struggle. The police box in the center of the city testified to the amount of juvenile crime the city suffered. As Haru crossed the main street, a familiar face popped out of a back alley. Hashimoto-san. Hashimoto was wearing a hoodie and jeans, and was accompanied by two boys in similar garb. The hostage case still hadn't been made public. Even so, Hashimoto purportedly hadn't attended school since that night. What was he doing out at this time? Haru followed after him. 20 or 30 minutes passed as she followed him. At some point, the poison oozing from the bountiful neon lights had drained away. They were nearing the business district, and would run into it shortly if they continued on course. All that awaited them there was the span of offices. There was nothing of interest in this area for young men. There was no sign that they realized they were being followed. Hashimoto was talking to the other two without a care in the world. They eventually arrived at the rather grandiose Sano Corporation building. There were several luxury sedans parked in front of the entrance. 2 men came out of the back seat of one such car. One seemed like an aging gentleman, and the other a pale foreigner. The latter's well-built muscles barely stuffed into his dark gray suit. There was a slight bulge under his jacket, likely a handgun. The shocking point, though, was that the seemingly unrelated Hashimoto began to speak with them respectfully. Haru couldn't see their faces, and their voices were only faint. However, she could tell they had met before. The aging man waved to Hashimoto, as if he knew him well. Haru noted that he was missing a finger. Hashimoto crawled into the parked car. The last man in, the foreigner, ducked into the back seat only after eyeing the surrounding area suspiciously. A vague uneasiness coursed through Haru. What was going on here? Unable to chase after an automobile, she turned back the way she came. Before returning to Kyousuke's apartment, she stopped by her room. Haru frantically grabbed her violin case, then dashed back into the night.